Just like that, yeah.
Yep. No Vaseline.
Why you gotta go? Why
That's
you?
insane, fam.
What I say?
Why you go with that?
That's the way you say. What do you say?
What
Don't mind this guy, man.
What's going on? How's it going? Well, guys, how are you?
Bruv.
I thought he was reminding me to put it on.
Yeah, Deji was late today.
Yeah, what's called? I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I fell asleep. I don't know what's been going on, man. I'm just tired. I fell asleep, yeah, and I wake up. My phone is dead. I'm just mad confused. I'm looking
one
around.
of them, yeah, the phone
bro,
died?
phone dead. You know when you have like, bro, phone dead. I woke up confused. I was like, the fuck's happening? I was like, oh, what time is it?
Facing them, sweating.
I look at the time. Yeah, we're supposed to be here for 7:30. I look at the time. It's 7:25. I'm like, yeah. I was like, I feel like I have somewhere to be right now.
But Fortune was also late as well, so it kind of
Shout out Dublin Bus and yeah. You don't want to hear what the messages Naomi Jeremiah asked me to send.
Okay.
Because I told her I was doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, look.
What a way to start the pod. Let's go and speak on this.
The first one she said was, "We see the clicks and we're saying fuck you to them." I'm still waiting for the. Oh damn.
We see the clicks and we're saying fuck you to them.
We see the clicks and we're saying fuck you to them. When come to place events in the industry, they go find a black rep to invite people, and the black rep invites his/her friends, even the person that has one song.
Who's this person that has one
Wait,
song?
what's called? Fortune, do me a favor. What's called? Talking to this part. Talking to this part.
We'll turn it up that way.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, beautiful. My apologies. That was one. And then the other one,
We're getting straight into this.
yeah. She said, "When fortune blows, don't hop on his dick. Word to everyone in Dublin." That is all her. Not
Come on, Naomi.
now that's my girl for real.
Podcast, come on, talk to us. But yeah, just context on that. Recently, there was a Burna Boy listening party where a lot of the people from the creative scene were there, and people were mingling, networking, and you saw from Victor Alfred to Soleil to Dongos, everyone within our scene was there. Obviously, Deji and I were not there. You didn't see us there. Fortune made it. We'll get into that in a second. So obviously, then that created a lot of conversation, sparked a lot of conversation about like, why wasn't I there? Why is this person there? Why wasn't I not there? Again, this happened last year as well with the Guinness, with the Reg 32.
Yeah. Let's go the block
From
party.
our point of view, last year, I was like, you know what? We weren't doing enough. We were like 10 episodes into our rebrand. We're still doing Charger Than Friends. And I could be like, yeah, come. I understood what.
Very responsible response to not being invited, fam.
Yeah, no, you have to. I don't like playing victim. I like looking within first. Like, I'll get to this year first. Like, so last year, but I could understand why last year Dongo maybe felt away because he was hot. He had momentum. And he was like, why is this man there and I'm not there? Again, what is the standard to be there? That was a conversation.
He felt like he had done enough to kind of put himself in the conversation with these people.
Exactly, yeah.
And then this is it's like, bro, when and who is deciding? It's like, okay, 15 episodes. Nah, they can come. Go that way.
Okay.
My question is, what is the basis to get in the door?
And that's
you know that way.
That I agree with that, and I think that's why I can see Naomi's point of view because I watched her episode on If I Speak with Dongo. Go check it out. And she's like, I've probably done more than a few people in these stores, and I could look at it as Deji of like, but Deji, we've done live shows, we've been consistent, we've gone on Where's Your Head At, we've gone on If I Speak, we've done all these episodes. What I could also I can understand what she's saying. I was like, I feel like maybe we've done enough this year to also be invited. But the other side of it is like you have people, in my opinion, this is just my opinion anyways, you have people that are like undeniable. You have to invite them. Victor Alfred has 800k followers
off his own back. Facts.
Zedda was in Vogue.
Off his own back.
Yeah, Zedda's in Vogue. Travis and Ellis have the #2 album in the country. They have to be there. The other side is just, it's networking and being seen and who you know. How did you get there, Fortune?
This is my thing right now. It's like, I find well new, especially, and I'll break down like the scenario when I got in the room.
Yeah.
But my thing was just shouting at everyone. Like, I can't get into the specifics as to why I was like, I have to be in there. But I met people through that day and everything was saying, okay, I have to go there. I have to find a way. So I was shouting at everyone, from the rappers to the people who were putting us on, giving us the guest list. And it ended up, I have to give a shout out to G Car. He ended up putting me on his name for the guest list, and he showed me we're in and them things there. But fam, where I realized that there was a group of people that they wanted, and we're like, bring these people. I wasn't in that.
Yeah, of course.
As soon as I walked in the room, there was just confusions, fam. Like I saw I'm not even gonna go into names. And
Don't.
Yeah. I can't. Like people were.
If you want, do, but I advise don't do it. Yeah. That's my advice.
I'm not gonna take away from anything that the people who set up that night did, because they put on a class event.
Exactly.
Regardless. Amanda Ade did an amazing job hosting. Nathan did an amazing job putting that on with Warner. It was fantastic. It was a real nice day to be a nigga in Dublin.
Why you gonna say it like that?
That's what it is, fam.
No, it was. It looked like it was a real nice to be a nigga in Dublin.
And I walk in and people are looking at each other like this. I saw somebody that I knew saw me, turned the corner like they didn't know me straight. A lot of people waving them. And then I don't know who. I'm guessing this was the person who was like running the night. He goes, sorry, have you got are you? And I was like, oh hi, yeah, I'm on with this person, that person. My name wasn't even on a list or anything of the sorts. So I was really going in on just a look. Someone said I could come, so I'm here.
I'm here, yeah.
I brought my mandem with me. That vexed her even more, because I was like, if I'm coming, my people are coming. Now this is where I knew I was pushing it a little bit, and I could confidently say, because at that point there were already so many people coming. She was, and in fairness, they were great. They were like, if you can wait like 15, 20 minutes, just let us get the first round of people through. Everybody can come and it'd be cool, it'd be fine. That's what I mean. Anybody could have been in that door that night.
Yep.
And my thing is, it's like, this is why I respect your point of view so much in terms of like, what could I have done more to get in the door? Because all you really had to do was ask.
Yeah.
But, and I understand where the Naomis and the Dongos last year are coming from in the taste of why aren't I in this room? I'm doing enough. My thing is just a case of, bro, I've stopped waiting for man to give me my roses, and I just start knocking, being like, bro, will you let me in? Like, I'm doing this. Because then when people see what I'm doing, they're like, bro, why haven't we heard of you? I'm like, you tell me.
Yeah.
Because, bro, it's too broad. You could then look at, okay, do you blame it on the people that Warner hired to reach out to the artists? Do you blame it on the artists for not reaching out themselves? Like, I don't know. It's such a... See, this is the thing. Dublin's in a very weird place at the moment, I feel. And I don't say Ireland. I say Dublin. Because the people like to act like this is where the heartbeat is. It is, for sure. But Dublin's not the make or break. The Burna Boy party wasn't the make or break, fam. Like, you ran into people there, and everybody fine well knew that, like me and you said, there's a game to play. Do you know? So my thing is just, I know if I want to play the game the way it should be done, I can't wait for people to be like, okay, now you can come one level up, two level up, 3 level up. I just climb, bro, when I ask. And I plead for them.
I fully agree. And that's why I'm not taking it personal, because I know you're not visible to everybody. And in my little echo chamber, people could see me and be like, I love the pod, I love Charge It, blah, blah, blah. But Warner might not have an idea, and I don't know Nathan. I've never spoke to him, I've never seen him, I don't know him from anywhere. So I don't look at it as like, I don't think anybody's sitting there saying like, let's not invite, despite what Jordan and Deji did this year, let's not invite them. So,
fuck them niggas,
yeah,
man.
I don't look at it, because I'm like, there's no reason. If we probably reached out and asked, we probably could have. And then to be fair, I knew the event was on a Friday, so every time there's an event on, even a wedding, like Dongo would hit me up and be like, "Are you?" Especially Congolese wedding, like it's like, "Are you going to this wedding this weekend?" Or "This event is on. Are you coming?" Or it did hit me up, but I was kind of like, "No, I didn't get an invite." But I didn't even mention it to Deji because I just forgot about it. I was like, yeah, maybe they just invite certain people to go to the
To be honest, I blame you for me not being there.
Yeah, fair enough, because I could have said something.
If you had
said something,
because you know,
they could have asked.
like you said, what's called sitting there waiting, you're never really gonna get anything. You just gotta, because if you had told me it was on, I would have probably just, yo, you going, can I?
Yeah,
and would have been there. Do you get what I'm saying?
Bro, by halfway through the night, people were just walking in there were so many people there. There was nobody there to stop. Do you have your pass? Are you invited? Who did you come with? There was nothing of the sorts, fam. And that goes to show that, and I look at this in I'm looking at this in the grand scheme of like Dublin as a whole and the industry as a whole right now. People are going to put on this, you're on this level, they're on this level, they're on this level, they're on this level only for so long. Because by a specific hour of the night, everybody was on the same level, only because they were all in the same door together. And that's why I looked around at myself to the people that were in the room with me. And I was like, these people would never give me the time of day had I not been in this room. So the fact that they're looking at me, eyeing me, shaking my hand, dapping me up, now we are in this upper echelon of Dublin, where people are saying that this is the high life, where you're getting those invites. Like telling people that I'm going to go listen to Burna Boys' album before it comes out, they're like, how? I'm like, bro, don't know. But I'm here, do you know?
Yeah.
And
no, again, so that's the thing. Do you think now? I don't think so anyway. Should there be like a criteria, like look back to Naomi's point of view? Should it be like, okay, you've done this or you've done enough, and maybe you should be recognized? Because the person organizing this, they can't see everybody. And that's why I don't even blame them. It's the fact that they're even putting on, I said it last year and I stand by my point. It's a net positive that these events are even happening. I've not been to either of them. I didn't go to the Guinness store last year. I didn't go to the Burna Boy this year. But it's a net positive that these events are happening, and you're putting creatives in a room with execs, and you're putting creatives in the room with other creatives that you can go mingle, and you do music, and you're other musicians that maybe you probably wouldn't see other places, or you probably wouldn't talk to, or they could get lost in DMs. But now you're in a room with them, and they have to acknowledge you. So I look at it as like, yeah, I could look at it from a selfish standpoint and be like, but Deji, we've done all these things, but why are we not there? But I look at, sometimes it's kind of step back and don't think about yourself. Think about it as like, and I'm a fan of favoritism and nepotism. I love it. When LeBron is trying to get his son into the league, I'm like, get your son into the league. Because I see white people have done nepotism and favoritism forever. And if I was in a situation where I know Fortune and I know Fortune I can get Fortune to meet someone and bypass certain rules, I will do it too. So I don't blame the people that do it. I don't do it at all.
We don't get to pick and choose when this shit works for us, and then when it doesn't, we're fuming about it.
Do you get what I'm saying? The only people that are mad about nepotism and favoritism and all that are the people that don't benefit from it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And I was in that criteria of life for so long, fam. Like, I've spent more time hating on Dublin than loving Dublin.
Yeah.
So I've been in the industry for, like, fam, do you know what it's like to see Dear Fact TV start and then all of a sudden just stop? Completely. Like, I remember the first brother that dropped a video on that page was an Irish dude whose music video was shot on a train. Now Dear Fact is this huge thing, fam. Like, and you look at where everything has started and where it is in Dublin now, because we only have the excuse of Dublin is small so much now.
Yeah.
Because if it's getting to a point where Warner are pissing people off by not inviting them purely because there's just too many people to consider. Dublin's not that small anymore, do you know?
I think the reason why it's a problem is because Dublin is small.
Okay, go on.
Because like, if we're somewhere, right, and you don't know everybody that's in the room, you're not really vexed that you're not there. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if let's say if it was only the likes of like Victor, Alfred, and them man that were in the room, but if you know one regular guy that's in the room, it's like, I do more than him. Why is he there?
And I think that's what rubs people the wrong way.
And that's what rubs people the wrong way. Because if they didn't see anybody that they really knew there, or they didn't know of the person that is,
like,
do you get what I'm saying?
me.
Like, okay, like let's say, because we could be like, I've been around Amanda. How come she didn't remember me? But bruv, does Amanda think about you on a daily basis?
Yeah.
Does she listen to what you do?
And
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's it. When Dongo told me, and I thought it was, I thought it'd be like, Dongo has like a bit of clout within the, like, we can say that. So he has the clout and the victory. That's what I thought it was. I was like, yeah, maybe it's the people with more clout than where I am right now. Again, I try to be very objective and very self-aware. That if I don't get an invite, I don't look at it as like, oh, they don't like me. I look at it as like, maybe what am I doing, and maybe it's not enough, and maybe what I could be doing. But then to Deji's point, then you open it, you just seen everybody was there, and to your point, I'm like, wait, I could have been there.
You know them ones. You know when you look and it's like, I have your number, I have your number, I have your number, I have your number. Why the fuck am I? Do you get what I'm saying?
And then Ron is in the group just saying, "Why your man's not here? Fuck you, Ron."
Yeah. So I think because everything is so close and familiar, that's why people start feeling disrespected, because it's kind of like, I see you everywhere and you know that I do music.
You have one song. Why are you there?
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? You know that I do music, and personally, my music is better than his music. Why the fuck am I not there? Do you get what I'm saying? And people start taking it personally, but if it was a room full of people that they didn't know, no one's gonna be mad. Yeah, it really just is that simple.
Do you not think that we're getting, not we, but when I say we, I'm talking about the collective scene, whatever we want to call it. There's like a false sense of like ego, or who you are, like false sense of awareness, because everybody are in within their own. I'm sure Naomi's probably not really heard of Charge It or listened to an episode of Charge It, and that's cool. And but in my circle, people tell me, "Oh, great podcast, man! Oh, great!" And even with musicians, you could have people that's probably not heard of you, but not you specifically, but you can operate in an echo chamber where people are like, "Oh man, I love your stuff, I love your stuff." So you think you're bigger than you are, but you're really not.
You're in a bubble.
You're in a bubble, and that's sometimes that's messing up people's perception, because they're starting to believe that maybe they're it and you're not there yet at the minute, you know?
I feel like, I need to go about this properly. It's like what me and you were saying. Like, everybody knows that there's a game to play now.
Yeah.
And I'll even relate to what my homeboy Five said on another podcast that we shot here with the...
bar for bar.
Yeah. He said, you need to know your role, fam. And I look at this, like, if it's a game, I'm like, this year especially, I've been like, I'm gonna have as much fun doing this as I can because this is how I'll get in the door with these people, and I'll be in these invites and I'll be in these conversations, fam. In my mind, in this creative scene, this industry, whatever we want to call it, we've assigned roles to people. Even the way we speak about Travis L's. Whenever Travis L's Gliders comes up, we're gonna think number 2 album. Yeah. So when you think Top Boy, you're thinking them, man. Straight off dome. If not them, it's Cello. If not them, it could be Kojak, it could be whoever, do you know? And then where I see the likes of myself, the likes of Naomi Jeremiah, who have been seeing these things go on in Dublin, and you're like, I'm vexed. Why ain't I there? And people don't like that I say this, but I feel like I break it down into status quo. And whoever established this, I don't know how, I don't know who put this together, but they've decided to put the likes of them man who are trying and them man up here, and then they put all the other artists down here. This is not a fault to Travis and Els. This is not a fault to Cello or any of them, man. This is what we are putting out into the street. So this is what Warner have to take in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. At the end of the day, if them man are so disconnected from the Black and Irish community, who are they going to go to learn about the Black and Irish community? Us, man. So everything they hear, to an extent, comes from us. Yep. So with this, I feel like, going back to knowing your roles, if you see that a pocket of the industry has been filled to an extent or taken, in my mind, it's just a case of find a way to give yourself reason to be in there. So now I've got this Mr. Rage thing going on. Basic Back have labeled me the guy who's going to lift the veil on the Irish industry. So that's how people are looking at me now.
And to be fair, that's the clip I saw. And I was like, yo, bro, this guy looks like he has something to say. And he's saying it with... Again, the older you get, the more when you see authenticity, you feel like you can be like, I fuck with it straight away. Like it's like, this guy's just being real.
Know, like, I didn't charge into the game. This podcast, I've been watching it. I've been saying, if I get to do this, this is class for me. Like, this was something I wanted to do for my own. Which is why I had no issue when you lot showed love under the Basic Back post. I was like, fam, whenever you guys have a free episode, please have me down. Just to chat, just to be here, to say that I got to meet you guys, sit in the room in front of the lights and the camera and chat, you know? And my thing is, where I feel like the status quo has set us in terms of like being bottom of the barrel, the people that have to kick the door in, scream and shout and be like, let me in. Bro, this isn't a bad place to be. Okay. It's not a bad place to be, because I found that when you come in on that aggression and that energy and you're like, let me in, that's the reason why everybody's looking at each other sideways when Fortune walks into the Burna Boy event. It's like, how did he get in here? He's like, he just tried hard enough. And then when people give you the time of day to listen to what you have to say, I'm like, oh, he should come to these more. Bro, that's what I've been trying to tell you, is that I should come to these more. So being down here isn't even a bad thing like that, fam. We just need to find a way, and I know it's easier said than done, but find a way to boot the door down, bro. Because if I can do it, anybody can, fam. Naomi knows that she should have been at these events rather than me. Bear man know that they should have been at these events instead of me. But all I did was just kick the door in. And
yeah, but the thing is, like, you know what it is, yeah? Some people are shouting about not being at the event, but they'll go to the event and they'll snap and they'll chill with their friends. Why did you need to be at the event?
Why do you want to be there?
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, do you want to be there for Snapchat? Do you want to be there for Instagram? Or are you actually going to go there and network? Do you get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, how you get into that room is when you go into a room or introduce yourself to everybody. Yo, I'm this, I do this. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And then hopefully next time it happens, or you see them again, and then you start building that relationship. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you're sharp,
it's like,
everybody that's there, follow them.
Complaining that you're not there because you just wanted to be there, kind of thing. It's like, had you gotten the opportunity and you got the invite and you was in there, what are you gonna make of it?
I hear this, yeah, but and again, we had this conversation yesterday. It's like, I said, know your why. And some people, why do I want to be there? Their why might just be, I just want to have it on Snapchat, and that's okay too. That's like you can't condemn them based on the standard that you have for yourself. You might have a standard that I'm gonna be in that room to network. Their why to be there is like, I just want to be around these vibes. It's just as simple as that.
By the way, for any of the people that are upset that they weren't there, a big part of us being there was just to say that we were there. There's only so much that man were able to gain from it. Yeah, because I was chilling outside and all the rappers were kind of having their own conversations and everybody was like, why are we here? And then we were like, we know why we're here. We want to chat to these people and see what they have to offer, man. Sorry, boys.
Busy, man.
What? Sorry?
No, busy, man.
And yeah, we were like, we want to meet these people, see who are the people, where do we get these deals from? How do we contact these man and be like, look, I'm trying to do this music thing. I've got a couple of tracks that have done decently well. I can do a couple of shows, put them on together, but your email's not on your website, so I had to meet you in person. But then when push comes to shove and you have to introduce and you say hi, people can't do it. And then when you end the night, all you have is the videos on Snapchat. And IG. And that'll only take you so far. Class that Warner reposted you, or you're on a highlight or something. But bro, that's only gonna do so much for you.
That's enough for some people, though. Some people, the gratification and the validation. Again, you do music, I do podcast. I talk in front of a mic for an hour every week and put it out. There's a certain level of validation that I'm looking for from somewhere. And I know where mine comes from. I like when we put out a clip and it's getting engagement, it's getting shared, and people are fucking with it. I love that shit. But for some people, it's as easy as I'm on a highlight and people are liking this. And again, some people just have to be like, you know what, that's not enough for me.
Like fair,
that's not enough for me. But for you, if that's gonna give you your validation and you're gonna feel gratified that like I'm in front of the Burna Boy poster and I can share them, people will like and say, oh, you were there. Fair juice to use too.
I just don't know why people are so butthurt about, like, I don't understand why this is a conversation. I don't understand why it was a conversation last year. It's going to be a conversation when the Black and Irish thing nominations come out. It's going to be a conversation. Like, it's like, bro, like, you know what it is, yeah? I feel like, just for me, because I'm someone that expects nothing from everybody, that, like, it's, like, me complaining doesn't do anything. It hurts me more than anything. Anytime we don't get invited somewhere or something doesn't happen or we feel like, to be honest, we rarely feel like we should have been somewhere. Like, if we're not there, we're probably not there for a reason. Do you get what I'm saying? Or like, we always look at ourselves like, oh, yo, have we done enough? Like, transparency. Me and Jordan have the conversation of like, yo, you know, like the podcast is cool, but you got to be out there like on the ground, chatting to people, being outside, being that person. Do you get what I'm saying? Putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, chatting to new people, introducing yourself to people that you don't know, looking like a beg. Like, it's all of those things put together.
And this is the thing, bro. The people that are starting to act like they're too good for this is the influencers. Bro, the attitude of these man at that event, fam. I texted Bear Man to get here. You got the invite, couple videos with the ring light, and you're chilling. There, I digress. But I'm chatting to them outside. I'm like, bro, how you feeling about being everybody's looking at me like this. Looking out the room with them. 2 free drink tokens in his hand. Mind you, I ain't even got a mine yet. He's like, bro, I don't know, like, this thing is starting to get along. I'm like, how so? He's like, because you see the same shit. The influencers act like they're homies, post the picture together, everybody helps each other, get the right angles for the photos, get the reel together, and then that's it. We just fuck off, and when we walk by each other the next day, we don't know each other.
You know what it is, yeah? Fam, people have been talking smoky about the scene for so long.
I love how we do this when we say the scene,
because
it's labels. I don't know what to label.
You know what I'm saying? It's icky. That's what it is. Nah, but like, you know what it is, yeah? I just don't, like, maybe I've been lucky. Everybody that I've fucked with me. Everyone that I've never really experienced that. Everyone that I've chatted to in this thing has been calm. I can ask questions.
Almost everybody.
That you doesn't count, bro. What's called? What's called? But like, I can ask questions. I could chat to people on the level. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And you know what it is, as well as that. Maybe it's because I've known of some of these people for a long time, or I've been around some of these people for a long time. That's kind of like, I've always known of you, you've always known of me, kind of situation. And the people that I have just met have just always been cool. So sometimes when people are going on rants on Twitter, like I'm just like, who are you, man, talking about? Because everyone I meet is cool.
You don't have shame, fam. I don't know. Me personally, and this is not to anybody specific, but I am too prideful to go and complain that why people do not invite me somewhere.
Yes.
I'm too prideful. Now, mind you, I need these people's help. So I'm probably shooting myself in the foot. But bro, I have to be real. Like, especially the criteria. Towards the end of the night, when I saw that people could just walk in, you have no reason to feel offended if you were not invited, fam. There's there's nothing. It's like you said, when we have to do this, when we speak about a scene, and when we have to we have to try to take ourselves out of the realm we're in and put ourselves in a sense where we're trying to make the creative scene realistic in our minds, but it's so hard to do that. It's like, bro, you're not missing out on much. We're still very much at the start. You know, bro, I'm only just turned 20.
Fair enough.
I have enough parties to go to. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, so I can't even when it's just like, why are you bothered?
Do you know what I mean?
No, but I see
FOMO.
the thing is, I do understand everything. I do understand like why you bothered, why you taking this personal. But I also understand. So again, the part of it is you're looking for that. Like, I've put work into this. I've worked on this album for a year. I've worked on this song for 3 months, and I'm not being acknowledged as a human being who does something creative, and your ultimate payoff comes from people. Yeah. So not to get that from people, I understand why you're bothered.
But this is the thing: just because you worked hard it doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
What's called? We have sat here. Well, what's it? This episode 79.
Yeah.
We've had here and done 79 episodes, paid money to be here, do all of this kind of shit. You can work as hard as you want. You could have put 10 years of your life into this album. It doesn't mean that I have to recognize it. Do you get what I'm saying?
So then let me ask you this, because I love the way you're saying this. And I feel like I can ask you this question and the answer I'll get will come with expertise in this. How do you go from doing those 79 episodes, being in the game for about 10 years, and just being like, bro, I could bust my ass for another 10 years and nobody's gonna care? How do you find yourself getting over that hurdle of like, I could do all of this and nobody could see it?
You refocus at different points. Like what's called, we were 10, 15 episodes in. This was before Charge It, like, because we were 3 at the back at first. 10, 15 episodes in. At first, we didn't have consistency. We stopped for ages. We used to do 1 a month. Then we came back. Then we did like a couple episodes. We missed 2-3 weeks. We come back again. So we're like 10 episodes deep at this point. We started to put in some hard work. And then something happened. Black and Irish Awards, the first one. No nomination, no nothing, no head nod, no nothing. We said, calm.
That's the thing. But that's the thing. That was still a point of validation from another source that you said you use that as motivation.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do.
Yeah, but
we just didn't voice the frustration on Twitter, which is what people are doing.
But the thing is, even if we had voiced our frustration wasn't with anybody else but us. Because my brother then comes and was like, "Yo, you guys are good, but I just never see you anywhere." We said, "All right, cool." We pivoted. We started, you know what? Sometimes people don't fuck with you unless somebody that they fuck with stands beside you. So, you know what, we just started going on guest run. We just started getting all the guests, everybody that's in the scene, everybody that's doing anything, people that we just want to talk to. And you know what? Yo, I saw you were with. Now we're getting certain conversations, we're in certain things. Then next year rolls around. All right, cool, yeah, Charge right there. All right, cool. Now we didn't win it. Okay, refocus. How do we win it? We need to get our clips better. We need to do this. We need to do this. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, if you're constantly checking, yo, what am I doing wrong? Like even recently, we're like, you know what we're doing? The podcast isn't enough. Podcast discoverability isn't good enough. You know what you need to do? You need to go outside and meet people. Do you get what I'm saying? So at every point, you got to refocus and so, okay, what am I not doing? And if you keep doing what you need to do and you keep refocusing and you keep trying, you keep asking, you keep putting yourself out there, making yourself feel uncomfortable, I don't think there's a way you don't, especially in a place like Ireland where anybody's phone number is what, 2 messages away? Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like you can't.
For me, it's just remembering why I do this and not to lose focus on the why.
Because I said this to somebody just recently.
If I lose focus, I'm like, I'm not getting nominated. I'm not being invited. That's not why I did this. That's not why I do this till today. I do this. I always say this. I watch Brilliant Idiots, and I was like, this would be so fun to meet up with people and just talk and have fun. And again, it got to a point I've said to Deji, I'm like, it's getting a bit too expensive for it to be a hobby now. So there has to be another pivot where we have to start monetize. Yeah, you have to start monetizing it too also. But I know why I do this, and I don't do it as like, I've never did it to be like, I've never talked to the mic and say maybe one day Warner will invite me to an event. That wasn't why I did this. I did this over Zoom. I did this over an app with Joe. I did this. My first in-person episodes was in Charlie's because I just wanted to pod. And as long as I keep focused on that, and I was like, yeah, why do I do this? Oh yeah, I enjoy talking to cool people, opinionated people. The minute I saw your clip, I hit you up. I'm like, I would love to talk to him. And that's why I do this. So I can do this for another. The only reason I'd stop doing this is like if it stops being fun or if it just stops making financial sense. If I put so much money into it and I'm like, we're just losing money at this, it's irresponsible. Yeah, like if it becomes irresponsible to do it, I'll be like, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Much can't pay a mortgage as much. Yeah, but we got studio time though.
So I guess Deji's obviously is like refocus on the goal and a new goal each time. That's his why. Yeah. And my why is like, why did I do this? It's just fucking fun to talk shit on the mic for an hour. Yeah. That's how as easy as it is.
But that's just the thing that always just makes me laugh. Like, because it's just like people think just because you put hard work means you have to get something back. And it's just not always like that. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? Because like, yeah, granted, I understand that you woke up at 5 a.m. every day. I understand you work 7 days a week to afford that studio time. But it doesn't mean shit at the end of the day.
Guaranteed.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, right, what these businesses care about is, yo, what your impressions like? Do you have the following? How can we use you? Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, I feel like also because we're in such a small place as well, I feel like people get overly gassed about things that aren't gas worthy yet.
It's such a scary thing to get trapped in because I remember I was at a shoot for we were doing promo for Jaffa's Breaking Bread, and I was talking to the videographer on the day, and his thing was, he was like, more time in this era of musicians, I'm giving niggas like 2 years being in a hot seat. And I'm like, go on. He's like, you can only keep that sustained for so long. And I ask you how you go about doing something for so long, because when you have that realization that this shit doesn't matter, that's when you start to see the weak perish instantaneously. The people who were doing it to say that they do it opt out. Because they're like, I don't need to do this, bro. I'm doing this just to say that I do it, fam. I'm not in as deep as you, man. But I find, even especially as a musician, I don't know, I can't speak about it from a podcast perspective, but I found myself in a bracket where I was like, okay, it's about who you know. It's about who's on my tracks, the streams that I pull in, and how I network myself around the country. So I'm reaching out to the people where it'd be class to have them on my song. Then I understand, oh, okay, these man see a tier list as well. Because these man will respect to a specific point based on my accolades. Like, the roses I got after my Button Factory event were insane, all because one girl threw panties at me, fam. That's all it is, fam. That's when
That's how we do it.
That's when I started seeing rappers I didn't know knew I existed, reposting my thing, commenting on my thing. Started seeing rappers that I used to reach out to from way back when. You will see me in 2018-19 in their DMs begging for a track. Never heard from them. And then when this comes out, it's like, fam, and that's okay. And I feel like one thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm reading into your character just off like the couple of minutes we've spoken. So if I'm talking shit, stop me straight away. But I feel like with you, you've understood that there's a part of your emotions that needs to be taken away in this industry. Like, you can't take everything so personally.
Yeah, you're going to get nowhere.
And once, especially after that Unify came around and I did that show at the Button, I remember I was like, there was an era of my life where I would have been so upset that these men are gassing me now. But I'm like, look, I know that these men need to gas me. So the fact that they're gassing me alone, that's one thing checked off. You know what I'm saying? If Dublin is so small, it's going to come around to you.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere, do you know? Warner, Ireland, or whatever the case may be, or whoever's attention you want, they're not going to flip overnight and be like, yeah, we've done all we need to do. We're done. We're packing up and moving. They're established in different countries for a reason. We have those types of establishments that are worldwide set up in Ireland because they know that there's a living, breathing community of musicians here now. And it's just, in my mind, the way I see it is, if you keep on going, you'll get there, do you know?
Yeah, and that's really what it is. Like, just like remember, what's called Taser Black from Three Shots Tequila was on a podcast, and he was like, don't hit me up to be on your podcast and you're 3 episodes in. Yeah. You might not be here at episode 10. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of like when you were in those people's DMs in 2018, 2019.
This is the thing. They had no, bro. Even if somebody hit me up with what I was on, I'd be like, bro, I can't.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
bro.
You have to go gather the accomplishments and like you have to go do certain things for people to start looking at you and respecting you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like for us, after Who's the Main Character, that's when a couple people was like, oh shit, yeah, you guys are good, you know. Do you get what I'm saying? And then that's when we start getting a few. Some people might comment here, some people might. I'm like, oh, okay. Remember, we were literally like, oh, we'd laugh at certain shit. But it's just like, if you sit here taking everything personally and everything means that to you and everything means that to you, you just might not have the stomach for this shit.
I gotta be real. When you lot mentioned the Black and Irish Awards, yeah, fam. Now when I saw everybody at that, I was fuming. My manager at the time was
we'll circle back on the manager conversation, but go on.
Okay, yeah. It was I remember I was looking at all the people that were there. My manager at the time was there, but I weren't there. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, Black and Irish. I'm seeing hella white people there. I know niggas that, fam, because you might know holding your hands in your face like I
I'm just laughing.
I just want to make sure.
You know I didn't expect you to go? I was expecting you to talk about your awards not being nominated. You said, I saw white people.
But it's not even, and I don't want to make it a thing. I do not want to make it a thing about this color person, that color person. But if your thing is Black and Irish, look at what fucking word is coming first, fam. Prioritize the niggas. There's a reason why. There's a reason why Black and Irish was created and started was to give ourselves a community where it's like, okay, in a world where we need grants for something, or a world where we need people to take us seriously, and I don't have the emails and the contacts to reach those people, they can help me if it's worth their time. My thing is, bro, I not even on a myself thing, but the people that I was seeing who had felt like they were disincluded from that, it was heartbreaking because they're like, I'm putting so much into this and I want to be a part of this, but it's a case of they just keep on closing the door on us. And now it's a case of like, I'm like, okay, what is the criteria for these people to be in the room and these people not to be in the room? Because I was fuming that I wasn't there. I was livid. And my thing was, if I'm not invited to the awards this year, I'm pulling up with the Henny bottle and the Black Tims like Kanye did the music video awards ceremony type thing. And it's like, bro, for what I even would be going there for on that night, fam, I couldn't have even told you. And it's just going to keep on circling back to what we're saying, fam. I wouldn't have admitted it last year or the year before or whenever it was. But had you asked me, why'd you want to go? I don't know.
I feel like I should be there.
Do you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, I just feel like I should have been there. But now looking back, I know I shouldn't have.
Yeah, but that's the thing that's funny for me, right? Like, because we live in Ireland, yeah, use the fact that it is small to your advantage. Yeah. Because like I said, everybody's number is two messages away. Like if you needed to get my number, you need to get Jordan's number. You could hit Ron would have given it to you. Yeah. You like anybody, like we're so close in proximity that once again, like I said, just because you work hard, it doesn't mean that you're guaranteed that that you're gonna get something out of it. You get what I'm saying? So it's just one of them situations where, because it's so small, use that to your advantage. You're able to find everybody. If you feel like, all right, cool, I need to know such and such. This person from their Instagram, they go to such and such events, they go to such and such events. All right, cool, you know what, maybe I should start going to such and such events. And when I see them, I'm going to introduce myself. Yo, this is what I do, blah, 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 blah. And then you become more familiar. And then also, when you start becoming more familiar, yo, you good, you blah, 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 you blah. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's just how easy it is. Imagine if we're in a scene or in an industry where it's so big that you don't know who's giving out who or who's doing what. You don't even have the benefit of being like, I can go meet that person.
So do you understand why I look at people sideways when they have a hard time in Dublin, so they move to London?
Yeah, what's called? You're going to be a little fish in a massive pond.
A massive pond, fam. And niggas are telling me, bro, I'm just gonna go America. I can't lie. I'm like, why? What are you gonna do out there that
do you get what I'm saying? Here? So if you couldn't work your way into the room where you can get the person's phone number here, how are you gonna go working your way into the room for a faceless, nameless person that you don't know and you don't know anybody that knows? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, if you can't even get yourself in that room here, Burna wasn't even here, so it's not like there was security or anything. Yeah. You can't get yourself in that room, but you want to go to London.
Could have walked in.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like proper exclusive. I know exactly where that event is. I could type that venue in and drive there tonight.
When somebody told me where it was, I was like, are you sure?
Do you get what I'm saying? I could be there within 40 minutes. If you can't get into that room, but you want to go to London and you want to get into like Kiss or one of these mad places, move, man. Come on. Like, you're not ready to put in the little work. Like, because the thing is, like, for us to become in, like, now we're in this scene or whatever. For us to become in this scene, you know what we did? We just recorded more and we just chatted to people that we already knew.
Honestly, the barrier of entry right now is like very low. Let's just honestly, we booked the studio, recorded, just kept recording, and then I was like, oh yeah. Now musicians are like, we're releasing an EP, let's do a media run on your podcast.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And RG is like, oh yeah, you guys are part of the scene. I was like, yeah, I guess
like we always look at ourselves like,
we didn't do anything.
People think we have clout
about this because you man are sly like household name now.
See, we don't feel like that.
I get it, and I get this, but like, even I remember when Jordan hit me up for this. Yeah, like I said, I've been trying to talk to you, man. So I sent it into the group chat. I'm like, yeah, the Charges to the Game podcast is locked. They were like, fair.
Don't do that, bro.
No.
Gas me.
Yeah. Let me give these niggas their roses. Confirm.
I hear it.
I look at the laughs that you man be having, and this is the thing. There are so many podcasts, and for real, take me in for 2 minutes because I want to be serious with you, man. Because there are so many podcasts here where you can see replications of replications, but you man are taking an energy that I have in my friend space with me and my mandem, that my mandem have in their separate friend spaces. Like, you are creating an energy in here where even if I'm watching, I feel like I'm sitting with my boys and chatting. And the fact that I can do that, and it's Black and Irish people that are doing that, bro, please give yourself your roses, because now you man are a living, breathing part of the community. The scene, whether it's this big, whether it's this small, you man are a part of this.
Thanks, man.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
that.
bro. Thank you. And sometimes it's like comparisons to TV. Again, I did the whole when I was looking at. I did after Naomi said it's like how many songs they released. I was looking at it back. I was like, yeah, what did we do? What was the criteria? Again, the criteria was you can walk in. But in the moment, I was kind of like, what are the other podcasters doing that we're not doing? And you do start comparing. And there's obviously there's standouts. The where's your head at done? What you guys get just the standouts to do a great thing. But then you're like, we just do as much as everybody, but why we're not gonna? I start thinking like, maybe the numbers aren't there. You start making excuses and caveats for yourself just to maybe have perspective of like, maybe that's why I'm not there. What do I focus on? Maybe get the numbers up, and I will also be in those doors. But I want to plug in an intro quick before you say what you want to say. We haven't plugged an intro yet. Anyways, we are here. We are charged.
Bang, bang.
We are the podcast with the highest level of analysis the culture needs. I'm Uncle Jay, but you mans call me Jordan, and I'm here with.
You know, your girl's favorite voice, Big Deji, nigga with the Midas touch.
I know.
That voice is insane.
Oh my God, gas me.
What we got here today?
Bro. I go by the name of Fortune Igabor and Mr. Rage, whatever these men are saying on the streets right now. I'm just outside, bro. I'm coming from work. I still have my badge on. Guys, I'm just here to chat. I can't lie.
Has anyone ever told you that you look like Omar from The Wire? That's it, isn't it? I swear to God.
I also
Because it's funny because I've been watching The Wire recently and I'm like,
Yeah.
that nigga look like
how
Omar.
much is
I'm
the
trying
finals
getting into
recently?
this.
Is that any good?
Which actually is.
Because I like, you know what it is, yeah? I don't know if it's my
Really?
selection. You look mad like him, bro.
Really?
Mad like him.
Fair.
Deji, in the edit, put it beside his face.
I usually do a quiz. It's a short quiz.
Okay, yeah, let's run it.
5 questions. You have one lifeline.
What's the criteria?
I have music, religion, fashion, sports, and cars.
It's long if I
5
pick music
questions.
and I fuck
No. These are just the
Oh no,
questions.
you have to answer all 5.
That's what they're based on. There's one question about music, one question about religion, one question about fashion, one question about sports, and one question about cars.
Okay, let's run it.
Let's run it.
Okay.
Wait,
Reasonable.
what's his lifeline?
One lifeline. You have to ask Deji. Deji doesn't know the questions.
I don't
either.
know these questions, bro.
Like, so if you're stuck,
So
you can
he's
ask
my
him.
lifeline. I have to ask him.
Yeah.
But
I
look,
think
I
four-
might,
See the way he's scratching his head. That's all.
look, my general knowledge is shit. I'm not even gonna lie.
So is mine.
I don't know. You know, I don't understand how people go on like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and all these shows. How do you have such vast random knowledge?
And you see when they be answered correct.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Oh,
Like, bro,
who's this king that did this and who was his wife? I'm like, bro,
Why
who
do you know?
knows?
Why do you know that?
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't even study for it. It's too broad.
And this one, they said I went on money a bit too easy, so maybe I overcompensated. This might be a bit hard. I don't think it is, but let's see. Music question: Reasonable Doubt, American Gangster, and Kingdom Come are album by which artist?
That's like,
Run them back.
Reasonable Doubt, American Gangster, and Kingdom Come are album by which artist? But see, you're 20.
oh,
Yeah, that was
That's
a low blow to the dome, but it's fair. I don't know.
I know. This
You-
one. If you
can
can
ask
use
Deji.
it for, you
you
can
use
use
your
me for
lifeline
this.
and ask Deji. Do you want to use your
You-
lifeline?
The
the thing is,
car thing.
You're gonna kick yourself.
I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue, but I feel like it's gonna be like if I say it, what happens then?
Nothing. You just get it wrong.
Nah, I don't even want to give a wrong answer for this
That's
lifetime.
what
Yeah, I'll let
happened.
you run it.
Yeah, it's Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Go on.
Jay-Z. Yeah, no. Fair. I could listen
That's
way
crazy.
More.
Oh
I
my
could listen
God.
Way more. I could listen way more.
You know what's crazy? It's just like, bro, like you're really 20. Like,
He's 20, yeah, so that's why when I said Reasonable came out in 96.
I was
born in
2000.
I
I
was
was what?
born 03.
Jesus Christ.
I don't like when niggas do that to me.
No, you know why it's like that. Yeah, it's just because my whole life, every time I ask someone when they're born, it's 1990,
Yeah.
and then it's kind of like,
cool. I'm 30. Well, by the time this is out this month.
yeah, and you know what it is. Yeah, it's just kind of like when some people tell me what year they were born, I remember what I was doing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying?
2003 now, I remember what I was doing.
What were you man on in 03?
I was 10 years old. I was living in Maynooth now at the time. Wow. Just going to 4th
I was
class.
like, I was in. I think I was stealing Game Boys in primary school.
Question number 2. On which day of creation did God say, "Let there be light"? So there's only 7 days. You have 1 out of 7 chances to get it right.
So what day?
On which day of creation? It took God 7 days to create Earth. On which day did he say, "Let there be light"?
I don't even want you man to put this in the pod anymore, bro. I'll be real.
Is that a hard question?
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those ones that you feel like you know, but then you say it, then you might be wrong.
Well, you can just.
But
You know what? I'll be real. If skipping is an option, I'll skip it.
nah, you ain't gonna skip
you
it.
can skip this one. Yeah.
Think about it. If you're to create something from scratch, at what point do you create? Like,
If you're in a dark room and you want to start creating, at what point do you say let there be light? What? Yes. You see the way I said
No, don't let the mic catch.
The original question I had on which day did he create man, I had changed it. I was like,
What's that, day 3?
Day 4.
Oh, 4.
Day
Crazy.
4 is what he created, man.
Wait, were you in church this week?
No, I did a research before I came.
Oh, okay.
This one, Deji will know, but I don't know if you'll know. See, if I knew your age, I probably would have made it more appropriate.
Fair.
The acronym FUBU from the clothing brand.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not.
What does it stand for?
Sorry.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but he wouldn't know though.
That's crazy. You did him dirty.
I know. If I knew, I could have made this a bit more friendly. But yeah.
Fubu, what's it called? Are you skipping?
Yeah.
Well, it's for us by us, isn't it?
Yeah.
I missed that. Sorry.
For us, by us.
FUBU.
Bro, that's what Biggie and them man were wearing, don't worry.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Allen, you know Allen Iverson, the basketball. Yeah,
yeah,
he would wear that all that stuff. So
yeah, okay.
I think I just know it from TV shows. That's it.
Larry, it's a sports question now. Larry Bird and which NBA player are credited for saving the NBA in the 80s?
Michael Jordan.
Ooh, close. Magic Johnson.
Fair.
Yeah, because what's called Jordan was more in the 90s.
90s. Yeah, fair.
Renault is originated in which country? Renault, the car brand. Which country?
Fucking Germany. I don't know.
France.
France.
Fair.
You would have done well in this quiz, but see,
Yeah,
because you're 90s, it would have suited you more. Next time I'll make it a bit more.
You did him dirty. I'm not even gonna
Nah,
lie.
yeah. The minute I read the Jay-Z question, I'm like, because you said this one's light, and I was like, if he doesn't get this, everything else is
Nah,
more
because
like-
you know what it is. But okay, wait. Question, yeah. Do you go back on like music history or like where do you get your music knowledge from?
It all comes down to what I'm trying to create. I'll be real. Like if I show you, man, my on repeat right now. There's only so many you could name. Like even for the EP that I've been working on this whole time, there really hasn't been a reference point. The earliest I would have went into hip hop is like watching a show called The Get Down about how hip hop started with like the break beats on the spin index and them with this DJ, the one who started it all.
I don't even know.
Yeah, no, it's on the tip of my tongue and I'll forget it, but Grandmaster Flash, I think.
Yeah.
Then after that, I was listening to a lot of Biggie when I was young. A lot of Biggie, like Ready to Die, Life After Death. I know those albums fairly well.
What age was this though? When you started
When I was listening to them,
Biggie.
I was 14.
14, so that's you were born 2003. That's like what year is that?
2018, I want.
2018.
But my question is,
Yeah,
what
I
makes
have
you
access to the
what
internet.
makes you
Yeah,
go
yeah.
back to Biggie?
What makes me go back?
Yeah.
At the time, it's a lot of with myself. I operate on the idea that the world is operating around me for me. So the reason I started listening to Biggie at the time, bro, it's so stupid. It's a funny story. Before I was old enough to work and have a job, I used to take a visit to Deals and Lidl, and I would take all the Kinder Buenos and all the wine gums and sell them at school. So that was my way of making peas. You go in, you take the shit, you go out. And I was listening to Biggie because I was like, I'm taking jellies and Kinder Buenos. He's taking drugs. I was like, either
Same
way,
thing.
we're both making peas, whatever
Yeah.
way we can. So now, in my mind, I'm walking out into the world as if I'm Biggie Smalls in 2018.
Yeah, you're the biggest rapper in the school.
It's like you stand there, you see what I'm saying? And bro, I'm such a big advocate for romanticizing your life, playing into the idea of like, bro, your life is a movie. Treat it like such. Like God has written the script out for you, and all you have to do is go out and play the scenes out. So even when I got grabbed, I'm like, I happen to Biggie, so it's chill. If he's fine, I'll be fine. So that's why I had him on heavy repeat at the time. Because I was like, bro, if he can make it out of selling them things there, bro, I'll be fine. I'll be chilling. And then his thing was, okay, I need to double down on the music. I'm like, okay, fuck all of this. Let me drop a song and see what happens if I take it seriously. That song did very well. We thank God. And then after that, it'd be like right now I'm listening to a lot of alternative rock coming from the 70s and them because I'm trying to fuse that into hip hop. So my knowledge on hip hop is very, very, very minuscule for how much I'm invested in the industry alone, fam. In terms of me being a rapper, but I listen to everything else under the sun more than ever recently. Like if right now, if I'm not listening to my own music, I'm only listening to Utopia.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Great album, yeah.
Yeah, heavy.
Yeah.
I think I don't. Go on.
Sorry, because being obviously, who do you think is the greatest? Like, since you're like 20 now,
Who do I think is the greatest to do
hip hop? Yeah, artist of all time.
Kanye.
This is a Kanye stan right here.
Stan.
Stan.
Yeah.
I think it's. I for some reason I didn't expect you to say Kanye. I thought you'd say someone like Travis Scott.
No. And this is the thing. I know where Travis Scott comes from. So my thing is, and again with Kanye West, again this goes into my idea of like romanticizing my life and saying Kanye West is in this world purely to operate for me, in the sense where not in a. Did that go off or it's just stand by?
Oh
No, keep going.
Okay. It's not so much in a sense where Kanye does everything he does in the world for the sake of myself.
yeah.
Do you want me to wait till that goes back on?
Yeah, no, you can. It's
It's more a thing of, okay, I have this to my advantage. I have his story, everything that he's had to go through. The same brother that had to kick down all the doors did it before I did to show me that we can make it this way, type shit, you know. So I feel like he's the greatest because he is one of the few rappers that was told no 10 times over, 20 times over, 30 times over. Had to overcome every single boundary that a rapper could throw at himself and have thrown at him. So to overcome those boundaries with only so much complaint, by the way,
yeah.
to then reach the accolades that he's done, the numbers that he's done, the records that he's broken after being told no 10 times over, that's instantaneously going to be the greatest person to me.
Do you know, after watching that documentary, I understood where his delusion comes from.
Absolutely,
Because
bro.
you could
Yeah,
see him,
there's
like,
madness
obviously
to this
he's
shit
going
now,
to be
yeah.
delusional because everybody has told him you can't, and he ends up being one of the greatest hip hop artists of all time. So for him now to be like, I'm going to sell shoes, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and people are telling him like, nah, you can't do this. Like, yeah, it's the same
Bro,
feeling that
I've
you
seen
guys
this movie
told me
before,
Yeah,
fam. Do you know what I'm
I've read the
saying?
script. You guys said this about said this about producing. You guys said this about rapping. You said this about shoes. Now Yeezys is selling.
Yeah.
If I want to do some, I always say this, like, dreaming comes with this. You need a bit of delusion to be like, I need to do this. So when people are telling him like, oh, Kanye needs to stay in his lane, Kanye needs to do this, I'm like, he's heard this so many times in his life. He's just proved it wrong again and again. So why do you not think it's at this point that you're gonna tell him no, and it's gonna make sense to his head? He doesn't operate on that level.
Yeah,
So,
cash.
yeah.
And like, bro, I also have to put it down to the music he's making, fam. 'Cause, bro,
Yeah.
breaking that lane in the 90s, early 2000s, where if you're not a tough guy, you're
Yes.
not rapping.
The pink polo with the
Pink
backpack.
polo, backpack,
Backpack.
teddy bear for the album.
Teddy bears
covers.
for the album.
Now everybody's saying he's the greatest fucker to do it. Like,
Yeah,
do you
because
know?
if you're from Chicago,
Of all
there's
places,
a certain stereotype that you're supposed. But yo, this kid from Chicago, educated, mom's an lecturer. How is? Wait, do you
Do you know where I'm from?
Yeah,
Do you know where I'm from?
yeah,
Yeah. So like even then when you look at my ends and then you look at the type the other musicians from that town, you bring them in here. Me and them are gonna dress differently,
Yes.
sit differently, articulate ourselves differently. So I'm so thankful that I have a brother like that who can show me, bro, you don't have to be like the people you're coming from.
And when did you get into that? When did you get into the mindset like this is the guy I resonate with? Is it because we've talked about it? You're saying I'm gonna kick down doors. I'm gonna you're not gonna deny me. You might delay me, but you're not gonna deny me. So when did you get into that mindset? I was like, I'm gonna do it this way.
Late last year, as soon as I started doing a new rage thing. That's where it's the only reason I'm able to say that I am where I am now. It's just I got tired of waiting. Like the whole thing with a new rage is just being like, bro, if you're vexed enough, do something about it.
Yeah.
You can complain on Twitter and be like, okay, I've got my outlet. The people know how I'm feeling. I always say to my niggas as well, bro, I don't mind if you need to cry to man's shoulder. My thing is, what are we gonna do after we cry?
exactly.
After we cry, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to look at myself in everything. I'm like, okay, I've been looking for these man's attention and they're not giving it to me. What am I doing to get their attention? Am I going about this the right way? So I'm like, okay, let me put on my own show. I'm going to create this cult-esque type thing. I'm not really sure what to call it yet. And I'm just going to base it all off my anger towards the industry. At the time, this was a complete fuck you to Dublin. Me and my people, me and my supporters said, okay, if you man aren't going to invite me on these nights out where you're having a class time, I'm going to start putting on some of my own. I didn't think I'd do as well as I did. Thank God I couldn't have done it without him. But you look at the kid who sits with his legs crossed from Blanche, and he was told by all the rappers in Blanche, bro, your shit is ass. It's whack. You're only going to make it so far. You're only going to do so much.
Why do we do that as people, though?
I don't know. I don't
Not
know.
even why. I wish I knew. I wish I knew why the instant reaction is to shut someone down rather than be like, oh, you keep doing, bro, or just correct them. Yeah.
See that way. And then that delusion started to come into play because I had people that had made music with me, people who's still on my Spotify today, say that I'm not going to make it out of the hotel I was working at the time, say that I'm not going to make it past lunch. I had my manager at the time tell me that I'm going about things the complete wrong way. Mind you, this is after selling out my debut headline. So we've already been one of the people that have sold all the tickets that there are to offer. And people are still telling me, nah, this isn't going to work.
Why did you want to say fuck you to Dublin? Because what got my attention, I went to watch back the whole interview, was the clip. And you were very passionate, let's say, about the Fact TV and people positioning themselves one way when you're actually doing the other thing. Why was the point that you were like saying fuck all of this? Because one of my favorite podcasters, comedian, whatever, is Andrew Schultz. When I started listening to him, he got to a point where he said, fuck the industry, I'm going to go where the people are. I'm going to get the people to fuck with me because I have a direct access to the people. He got to essentially to your point you're again. Why are you people not giving me a Netflix special? Why are you not inviting me? So fuck y'all, I'm going to do it my way.
I was saying fuck you to Dublin because I just didn't understand the game, fam. Like, I felt like it was really just a case of the authentic, the unique people who tell the truth will make it the first. Bro, completely lost, bro. Little did I know, fam. So my thing was like, bro, if you man are pushing this message, why aren't you living to it? Yeah. This is what I said on Basic Back. I don't mind if your thing is business, is money, is the insights, the views, and the rappers that are going to make you the peas back.
Yeah.
But when you're starting a channel or you're starting a label or you're starting something, whatever the case may be, and you're saying, we're doing this for the culture, we're doing this for the youths, then. We're doing this for the people.
We're doing this for the people.
We're doing this for the streets.
The revolution isn't for everybody.
And now all of a sudden, it's all about the P's and the pay slips and the invoices. I'm like, fam, stick to your word.
I said this, okay, fair, and I hear that point. But I've said this to Yams, he was a PT here, and he says he's trying to grow his own PT brand because he likes helping people.
Yeah.
I'm like, that might be your intention initially. And that might be, but you might get to a stage you'll be like, yo, again, me and Deji, I was like, it's because I need to pay bills.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but bro, it's exactly like you said. You realize you have to come on and be like, okay, if this is a career, we need to play the game.
Yeah.
And then I understood this. So my fuck you shifted a little bit. It shifted. It wasn't at Dublin as a whole because, bro, like I said, I was lost. I'm glad that I'm doing the podcasts now because I've got a proper head screwed on.
Okay.
Whereas way back then, it was just all fury.
Yeah.
I'm coming off busting my ass to fill up a room with 300 people. And my manager's like, yeah, but we're still going about this the wrong way. Another artist that he was managing at the time hadn't even reached my accolades. And I'm like, you're still telling me that I'm doing this the wrong way. So then I went back. I was like, okay, let's book Soundhouse. Let's do this again. And this time it's just going to be for us. I made sure that it was my niggas who was opening and closing the night. That it was my people hopping in between the sets. All of a sudden, stupid money coming back our way. Stupid acclaim. And now I'm crowd surfing. And it's purely because I just stopped waiting for people to put me on. You know, you can't and I get so cross with myself for thinking that way in the period of time, but I understand it all comes from the passion of the game and the music industry that I'm in. But I felt like, again, we'll double down on the maturing and realizing we're adults. This is business. They're using me because I'm telling them I can make money. I'm using them because they're giving me a space to make money. And to network myself and to show people that I can perform. Yeah,
I want. Do you think, obviously, you did it? You did it. You said you did it your way, where you said, "Fuck the industry for a minute. Let me do my own thing. Let me do my own show." Is the industry still as prevalent? Like, using Andrew as an example again, he started blowing up when he said, "Fuck the industry." When he wanted to release his own special. He had to buy it back from the people, and he says, "You know what? I've spent so much money buying this back, and the people pay for this now." And I did. I paid for it because I've been fucking with him for so long. So it kind of shows me like how important you still see the industry is when you yourself have direct access to the people via the internet.
Yeah. So now, and I'll ask you to...
Let's just show those so we can see it. Yeah. So we can see when it's
off. Thanks.
I'll ask you to say that question again just so I can fully understand.
No, I was like, how important do you still feel like the industry is today? Like, because you have direct access to the people, you can put on your own show. Do you still feel like, okay, someone still needs to put you on? Or
I feel this is the level. I feel like it depends how far you want to go.
Okay.
It's like I could chill here and some way, somehow I could build a career off this. Some way, somehow. Like if I wanted to stay in Dublin and just be a booker and I keep on looking for artists like myself who don't have that way in and I could be the way in and I've cracked the door in with the Ground Social, with Soundhouse, with Button Factory, and I have now booking rights on all three of these places, I could stop there, but I'm fine. Now my thing is, bro, okay, how far can we go? Because now my thing is, and especially now that people are like, okay, Fortune's gonna tell the truth about Dublin, and he's gonna lift the veil, and it ties in with the Mr. Rage thing, and he's coming on this Aggie thing, and he's calling people out, saying nigga this and white people this on the podcast and them. I just want to see, now this is all my genuine curiosity of like, when I get in the door, what is the industry like? Because I even forgot I did this, but I knew there were people that wanted to be at the Burna Boy thing, and I went on my private. I don't know if I was allowed to do this. I don't really care. But I was like, if you're fuming, you're not at the Burna Boy thing, hop on my live in 30 minutes just to see that we don't need to be here, fam. Like, there's only so much we can do. And I was holding it up on the IG live, and people were like, oh, this is it. I'm like, yeah, this is it. I'm like, you've seen it. Do you still want to be here after seeing it? So then now I've cracked that. I'm like, okay, what's next after that? Can I get in the room with Warners myself? Maybe, maybe not. I'll see how they treat man. Then if I can go up there, it's like, okay, people are moving to London. What's going on in London? Why are all the Irish people going out there rather than staying here? Then I'll get there by myself and realize, oh, because they did their thing in Dublin first.
Yeah.
Do you know? My main thing now, and I hope I can stay true to this through the future, I'm going to keep on praying on the fact that that can be my main mission at hand and that can be the thing I focus on. But now that I have the means and the pull to pull these people in and to kind of have this much attention, I just want to be a living, breathing example the same way Kanye was, that you can do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm so thankful for Kanye's existence, fam. And it's like we said, bro, if you're a Kanye stan, it's not just about the music. It's about the being. It's about the energy. If you're a fan of Kanye, like he said himself, you're a fan of yourself. Because somebody that's a fan of Kanye and listens to those music is a fan of themselves. The type of music I make songs where I want you to listen to that before you have to fight somebody, before you have to go to a place and you're shitting bricks, before you're nervous, fam. I'm making Rager's music, and if people are calling this a revolution, the music I'm making behind the soundtrack in it. So where I want to see this end up is being in a light like Kanye is, where people have told you no enough times and you've cracked in the door. And I just want me living and breathing on a day-to-day basis to be proof enough for a little kid like me in a classroom who's just writing songs to be like, yeah, bro, you can do it. Like, because and it's going to sound like the fake thing that you say to get people on your side, but fam, people do not understand what it is like when you live and breathe music, fam. Like, it's way too dangerous, fam. Way too dangerous. People would always speak about how I have a level head about being a musician, and I speak like I have so much expertise. Yeah, fam, that's because I nearly let this shit kill myself when I was 16. Like, I've already been through this stage of life where I double down on my emotions. Everything I live and breathe being music. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. When I tell you, man, and any of the label heads, if this episode reaches any of you, man, and you know you have some type of pull, please recognize with yourself that being a musician means you are putting in emotion, time, money, just like we all are. But when I'm banking on lyrics that are about my real life story to impress these people over there, to attract 50,000 people, when that doesn't happen, I'm like, this is my life, this is my story. If this doesn't work, I won't work. I have no business here. That was my life, fam. Fam, I'm here. Now I realize that everything after that moment is a fucking bonus round, fam. So my thing is, by all means, if I have another opportunity to step out into the world tomorrow, what can I do to make sure that even on my Instagram, somebody knows? Go for the shit if you want it, fam. Go for it. Because, bro, I went from being distant blanche, niggas are making memes about me. I'm waking up from a nap the same way you was. People are like, I hope you're okay. Sorry about the hate. I'm like, bro, I just woke up. What's going on? And now you're selling out shows. You're crowd surfing. Panties is thrown. Everybody's screaming your name. And now man saying that you're one of the best people to do it, that you're the future. Fam, don't let these people take away your drive, fam. Don't let them do it, fam. It's just... And I hate the whole motivational shit. Like, bro, go for what you want to do. Like, I don't want to turn this into a motivational episode or whatever.
But it's true, though.
Bro, it's real. It's real, fam.
It really is. And it's just one of those things where, like, just because you know that you're talented or you believe in yourself, if you haven't shown us anything to make us feel the same way, why should we fuck with you? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, for you, it's like, all right, cool, you probably sat there. And you know what it is? It's always niggas that love the music that are the most affected by it, because they always feel like, if I have good music, nobody can touch me. That's the smallest part. Yeah. Like,
it is fuck all, bro. Like, I know fine well myself.
You know the ones, should I say that?
I'm taking a moment to be home. I'm taking a moment to realize what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm definitely not the best out right now. Definitely not. Not by no means. I'll get there someday. But I was like, I don't even need to be. Bro, I don't need to be. The people that are on top right now, I can rap better than some of them. But just because I can rap, that doesn't mean that I should be in their position.
Facts.
Understand how your industry works. Understand what you need to do. If they can do it, if I can do it, why can't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you might understand as well. You could so easily chill in a bedroom, set up 5 cameras between all of you man's iPhones, record off your microphones, and now you got a podcast episode. You do 10 more of those, people want more, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
season 2's coming around. Are we going to go back to the bedroom, lads?
Yeah.
Are we going to stay on the iPhones and them things there? You start to recognize money needs to go into this, time needs to go into this. Now look at yourself and ask yourself, do you really want to be a musician? Look at all you have to do. Everything, fam.
I don't know why
Been in
people.
this 3, 4, 5 years, bro, and you're wrecked, you're tired.
I don't know why people want to become musicians. Like, I actually don't.
Bro, and it's heartbreaking because even now I'm asking myself, what am I going into? Because now it's even a constant conversation of selling a soul. We look at America like, once you're in America and you've gotten those 5, 10, 15, 20 million monthly listeners, you're clear. But now people are telling me, Weeknd had to sell his soul to get there, Doja had to sell his soul to get there. I'm like, damn, that's what it takes. So now I ask myself the same thing. I'm in the industry asking myself, why am I doing this? Why do I want to get there?
Why do you?
Because it's all I've known.
And where did it come from? Like, with the love for music?
Because it's been the only part of life where I've always understood who Fortune Gabor is. I might not be able to tell you what he dresses like, how I speak, how I think, but all I can tell you is that he's a musician. And then you look at his discography, then even in myself, I'm starting to learn more about myself. And I don't want to, I didn't know that I could have shouted you, man, being like, I got a project coming out. Let me hop on. But I got this EP coming out.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And,
plug it. October 27th.
October 27th, yeah.
Yeah.
And it started off as a story about myself and the person I was seeing at the time. And then life done its thing, and I ended up being by myself. And it then became a...
I love when you said life done its thing.
No, I won't even say it. Because, I can't even...
I hear you, bro. Don't go into it, man. I like the spin. I like the spin.
This person is looking down the camera going like... at me right now, so anyways. Yeah, you know how when you have to recalibrate your speech because you go off, fam.
No, just the way you put it. Life done its thing.
I didn't even realize the sound of my music was changing. I started learning so much about myself as a person, as a brother, as a boyfriend, as a leader through my music. And the project that's coming out is a living, breathing example of going from being a memed nigga to being a sold out show nigga, 2-time sellout show nigga, headline button factory like Burna and them man did.
Come on.
That EP is just soundtracking that. It's soundtracking the kid that was told no 10 times over to then doing this, do you know? And the music for me, it's just always been a case of when nothing has made sense, the music always has. Even go back into the breakup, I couldn't always articulate myself and how I was feeling. Nah, you end up making 2-3 tracks and now everything's off your dome.
Why didn't you make her a song to make things work? Like, you could have done that.
Bro, you think I didn't write tracks? Do you think I didn't write tracks, bro?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
What's called? I hear you talk. I hear you talk about like what's called. Music has been the only thing that you've kind of made you understand yourself. What does being a musician mean to you?
In the current day.
However you take the question.
Well, I'm not gonna speak about this in a general scheme because I can only say so much for like the grand scheme of being a musician. But to myself, in the industry now, like I said, I'm starting to realize the responsibility I have. Like, for me to put on a show more for my enjoyment and my benefit than other people's, only to an extent, because like I said, I enjoy performing more than people like seeing me perform. So it's all off the dome gonna be a selfish thing because I love it and I don't mind doing it. If I get paid to do something I love, of course I will. But then when it goes from that to me sitting on my lunch break in a uniform like this and somebody comes up to me, they're like, Fortune, you're a rock star. I'm like, sorry? They're like, your show at the Sound House was the best night out I've had in Dublin. I'm like, I can do that? I can put on somebody's best night out in Dublin. Okay. Maybe I could do it again for them. Maybe there's more that we're able to do. And at the Unify event at Button Factory, I was speaking to a journalist for Hot Press, and she was like, "Yeah, man, innit?"
No, because this is the thing. I said, in the grand scheme of things, I don't know who Hot Press are. I like in Ireland it might be a big deal, but globally,
But then I was like,
you get what I'm
Dermot
saying?
Kennedy, Hosier, all them have been part of Hot Press.
but it was what's called.
Yeah, but go on.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish.
She looked at me and she was like, "This rage thing." She's like, "You can see you have it so small in your mind." She's like, "Where are you taking it?" I'm like, "I don't know." She's like, "No, look at the room that you filled in tonight." She's like, "I've heard you name the people who have performed here before you 10 times over. Say it again. Loyal Karna for one. Burna Boy for one. MF Doom, rest in peace, for one. Pink Panthers for one." She's like, "You filled up a room the same way they did." There's like, understands the powers that are within your music career now. You have bigger means to do bigger things now. So before, it was all just for the sake of myself. If Ma wouldn't let me go outside when I was 7 years old, I'd write a song called "I Hate You, Mom" type shit. I love my mom. She knows this.
Shout out, Mumsy.
When I was 13, 14, if I had a crush on the chick and she didn't like me, there was a song. Those songs are still on Spotify to this day, fam. You see what I'm saying? Now it's a case where, okay, you're putting on shows, you're saying these things about the industry, recognize what you're doing. Things are starting to change. People are telling me I'm the future. I still don't know how. People are telling me I'm changing things. I still don't know how.
I don't think you're ever gonna feel like that though.
See what I'm saying? So now my thing is, hearing these things, accepting that people are saying these things, even though I don't understand it, being a musician to me now is doing what I can to make sure a kid like me either has a place to go to see that it's possible, has somebody to look at to know that it's possible, or just has a place to go to have a class time, man.
Yeah. And talking to him and talking to Manny, it's like guys that are young but like focused and driven and into it's rare to see. And he thought it was just like, obviously Manny thought it was normal, and you probably think like, I don't know how I'm doing this. I can see how you guys relate in that way, but the way I'm listening to you and I listen to him, I'm like, it's not common that a 20-year-old would have so much drive and so much ambition, so much focus. I've said it to him as well as a 23-year-old. But I wanted to ask you a question in regards to managers. And this is no shade.
So glad you're asking me this about managers at all, to be honest.
This is no shade, because for me, I don't know what they do within the music industry. And conversation I've had is like, some people just have titles, not just managers alone. Some people have given themselves titles as a way to be within the scene without really doing anything. They just,
plenty.
This is just my title. Now I'm at events, and you look at them and like, but what do you actually do? But you don't know. But for your manager or managers in general, what are their roles within the music?
In my opinion,
I just don't understand.
In my opinion, your manager works for you. Like, I don't care. I had a manager this year that I've been with for a long time, but I ended up falling very, very upset because as a manager, you need to understand. In my mind, you are put there to do the things that the artist cannot do for themselves, i.e., you work for them. In a world where, let's say, you man were my managers. If you man put on that Soundhouse show, you get your 15%, you get your 10%, your 20%. You book the show, I sell out. We all did this together. Man, we have peace, class. Now we recognize that I can do this. It's like, okay, if an artist comes to you and says, can we try go for this? Can we try go for this? Can we try go for this? Okay, why? Because this would be class for this release. This would be good for this. It would be good for this. Okay, if you don't already know, ask. If you do know, step to it, because you're going to get peace from it in the other end as well. If you are working with somebody that you genuinely do believe in, you're going to knock on the door and beg for every opportunity for them, because you know if they get paid, I get paid. If I keep on pushing these man and I know that they'll rate this man, we're all going to eat, fam. It's pretty much like, it's like you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
You eat what
That's
you kill.
simple,
If I
as
kill
that.
a bigger meat, I get a bigger piece.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I got to a stage where I was like doing so much by myself purely because I had a manager, but I felt like I didn't have one. Now it's an issue that I'm doing all of this by myself. It's like, you're not including me in anything. I'm like, I'm trying so hard. Do you think that I want to be emailing the bookers and the production team and these man? Bro, I'm supposed to rehearse, sell the tickets, show up, shell it, and piss off, bro. That's all an artist should do, fam. But now when you're in a world where independency is being pushed because managers shouldn't take money and labels shouldn't take money, you start to realize, I'm realizing how much an artist can do by themselves. Now I don't even really want to even go into the world of bookers and managers and them, because I realize if I can make this much money by myself, it'll take me 20 years more than it'll take the man them with labels and with managers. But I can make all of my money back by myself, fam. Granted, it'll take 10 years over. But you look at a nigga like Brent Fayaz, who's independent, might have a manager. I'm not sure how that works. But when you're independent and the labels and the managers aren't taking peas from the streams, from the tours, that's all your money.
Yeah.
Do you know? So, me, a manager, to put it simply, because I keep on dragging out the answer to your question.
Talks,
My apologies.
podcast, we're here to talk.
Scratch my back, I scratch yours, fam. I'll be real. Because I could have done, people, fam. People, one thing where I'm pissed off that I'm being left out, it's festivals, fam.
Okay.
Ask me if I'm going to EP again, fam.
Oh, yes.
Ask me again, bro.
Shout out Keston,
bro,
actually. EP this weekend. Keston shows love all the time on the pod, man. Proud of you. Congrats, man. Enjoy.
Real ones, bro.
Shout out to the boy.
Keston.
My list for 2023, I'll even share this with you, man. I'll share a few. Every time I step into a year, I have a goals list. So 2023 goals, you man can see. The first one was sell out the Sound House, Sunday Music. That one's ticked off.
When did you write the list?
Say again?
When did you write the list?
In the 2022.
Okay.
There's like release my second EP, cool. Overall 10K streams, whatever, cool. Number one song, okay, whatever, cool. Summer Festival was one. I was like, I'm not leaving 2023 without this, fam. Niggas are telling me last year when I debuted my headline at the Grand Social, Fortune's gonna be on Longitude next year. Cash. So I'm like, okay, how do we do this, guys? They're like, usually if you can do another show, sell out, have a really big song, do decent enough. I'm like, okay, cool. Prayer did its thing. Class. We tried with the prayer. Amazing. Okay. Sold out 2 shows. Class. Can we send ourselves to the festivals now? Yeah, of course we can, my manager says. Did we hear back from them yet? No reply. Hey, can I talk to you about this thing? No reply. Any updates? No reply. I book another show by myself. You're not involving me in anything. Now it's a case of you're trying to do all of these things without me go under my nose. I have to leave. Bro, I only asked you for one thing, one thing. And one thing that I really, 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 really wanted to see myself do was do one festival, fam, a small one, bro. Just because, and it's the thing, when people tell you that you have to do something so much, you start to buy it.
Yeah.
Really start to believe it, bro. So then it just became a thing of, bro, all of my sense of directions were screwed, fam. Now I'm looking at this list and I'm like, bro, do I even want all of this shit, fam? Do I even need all of this shit?
Yes.
So with that,
I get that because
like,
sometimes you believe it because it's like, again, back to comics and Andrew Schultz used to say, it's like they used to believe you're a stand-up and then you get a sitcom and then you're on TV. And that was the pathway of every comic. And then and then he realized, like, wait, why is that the pathway? I can make so much money doing touring. To be fair to them, also podcasts changed the game for a lot of people. So there is new avenues that create themselves that you can make a list and like you feel like, why do I feel like I have to do this when I could? There's other avenues to do, but it's embedded within your brain, that way, conditioned. I feel that's what you do as a musician.
Taking all of that in led me to get wrongfully upset with my year as a whole. Yeah, because now it becomes a thing. People start calling me the sellout king. They're like, you sell out shows like it's easy, back to back. Now I feel like I have to sell out the show. I really wanted to sell out Unify Fam, the Button Factory show. We weren't far at all. I know why we didn't. 2 separate reasons. One was because I felt like all of my priorities got shaken. I was only saying that I have to sell out was because I didn't want there to come a show where he sold out 3, but he didn't do the 4th. He sold out 2, but he didn't do the 3rd. On one of the tracks on the EP, you'll hear my boy Danzy say, you hear me say at the start, see, he did it twice, but now he's going for a 3-peat. And then my boy said 3-peat from. Niggas are saying hat trick with songs, bro. So I'm like, okay, I have to live up to this. Because the people, I'll be like, I'd love to hear people come back to me and be like, bro, you did it 3 times on the Button Factory.
Yeah, Michael Jordan things. Yeah.
So now I feel like my relationship, exact Michael Jordan fam, I was rinsing The Last Dance during this prep fam. Rinsing it. Bro, you even look at my lock screen.
It's Michael Jordan. Fair enough.
I'm like, guys, we have to do this. We have to do this. We have to do this. We don't do it. How many were we off? Less than 100. Fuck, fam. We were so close.
Bro, round it up, bro.
I'll take that, man. I'll take that.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? It's a pride thing. You know that.
Yeah, cash.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like, especially because of my boys, Olisa and Daniels, my relationship with God has gotten so much closer.
Amen to that.
So now I feel like, bro, times 10. So now I'm looking at everything. I'm like, bro, this is all written for me. I am not put here in Dublin to be the boy that sells out every single show. There's way more to me than that. And you can kind of see that that's where my worth comes from here. It's because I sold out twice. I don't mind. I'm thankful that I have that on me. But it then became a thing of, okay, God didn't give me that opportunity because he said, fam, this cannot be the start and the end of your story. You need to find another way to give these people a reason to respect you.
Yeah.
In came the podcast where I was able to say the things that were on my mind and people started looking at me outside of music. Bro, I can't lie. If you know you need a manager or you're looking for one, make sure it's somebody that has the same priorities as you. Because that is what I feel the second reason we didn't sell out Button Factory. Because my people, I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, Family Ties, it's a big group of people. We're lovely. It consists of 4 artists between myself, Kid Cuba, Aluna, and Danzi. You have Olisa, 5, who directs, shoots, he produces, he script writes. You have Baby Girl Films and Tade on video and camera. You have Quangs and myself on production, Olisa as well. Everybody was working around the clock. We were shooting skits back to back, selling tickets every day, doing mad crazy promo. And I'm a firm believer of if you want something to happen, everybody on the ship needs to want it to happen as well. Everybody needs to understand the assignment from point A to B to Z. And because that was the first show where Fortune was headlining, but I wasn't booking, I only had so much say-so with who performed. I was like, okay, these men don't have the same priority as us. It's just an opportunity for them. So we cannot make it a case where we are carrying someone else's load, trying to make something happen for yourself. If you have a manager on your team, you can't do managerial things as the artist if somebody's already sitting in that seat, fam. It's a case of understand who you're taking onto your team, understand who you're asking to manage you, put all of your dreams and aspirations on the line and say, look, bro, this is my life. This is everything I live and breathe. If you fuck it up, you are fucking me up, fam. On a real level. Make that known, and I feel like everything will be cool after that.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, real quick, because there's 2 things you said that interest me, right? You said that your life is a movie. It's been written for you. You just have to go out and live the scenes. And then obviously later on, you said that your relationship with God has been a lot closer recently. Do you man believe in fate? Like that everything is written, you don't really have a choice like that. You feel like you have a choice, but it's kind of written
To an extent.
Yeah.
I've asked this I've got asked this question so many times. I think there is things that are like certain things that if they're for you, and I think Orlet says it on the episode with Dongo, she's like, we're not here to beg. What is for us is for us. So we're not gonna beg for it. Like it's written for us. So I do understand that. I do understand like, yeah, you know what? If I do the right things the right way, whatever's for me, I will get to it. But do I feel like I have no decision in something? Yeah, you do. Because like if I do want to get my defined 6-pack,
you're not getting that 6-pack.
Probably not. Sorry, I have to make the decision to go to the gym. So I don't think that's like it's predetermined that I will get to have defined 6-pack. So to an extent, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, yes. But everyday decision, I still think you have to make. I don't know if that makes sense.
I feel like an action has a reaction.
Yeah.
Do you know? I feel like I could go out here, I could walk out into the world and be like, look, anything can happen today. The way I see it, life will throw something at me and be like, something has happened. React the way you see fit. And then everything after that shifts to a specific extent. But I feel like we only have so much control over ourselves, and people don't want to come to terms with how little control they have in the world, fam. And I feel like that's now I'm getting into techie waters, I feel like that's where a small percentage of people who don't believe in God find a reason not to believe in God, because they don't want to accept the fact that everything that's operating is way above us. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like everything happens on my say-so, on my clock.
Yeah.
I'm like, it does, but only to a specific extent. This world was put here way before us, fam. Houses were built here way before us, fam. How do you think everything operates, do you know?
I feel like it's harder to believe in that, to believe that you're in control of absolutely everything.
Go on.
Because when a tragedy happens or someone passes away, what's the first thing they said? Oh, it's part of God's plan. They're in a better place, blah, blah. But if you don't have, like, I genuinely feel like if religion was removed away from a lot of people would kill themselves.
Oh,
because
I'll stand corrected on that.
Because-
especially in third world countries where you have nothing to hold on to.
God is the only thing you have.
Religious.
Do you get what I'm saying?
What's stopping me from killing the rich man and stealing his riches? For some people, it's really is religion. That's their morality is based on like, I can't do this because I will go to hell or I believe in God. I'm a good person. Remove that, anarchy.
Fair.
Anarchy.
I didn't even see it like that. Now that you say that, it's crazy.
You just think of the wealth disparities like in Africa. And
Yeah.
some people, that's what they do on Sunday. They go to church to get that hope. They'll give their tithe. They're rich men. Now you're telling those people that go to church every Sunday, all this is
No, I wasn't.
What's gotta stop me, man?
I wasn't even saying it because of that. I was saying it for people that when bad things happen, the only thing that gets them through is, yo, God has a plan.
I saw a TikTok recently. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I saw a TikTok recently, and a guy said they lost. It was the guy doing the TikTok. It was one of those Reddit TikToks. Says his little brother died, and his parents didn't have a religion to hold them together, so he had to be the therapist. Whereas if he had something like religion to be like, it's God's plan, God wanted to do this, God took him away from us. It's a coping mechanism. Like sometimes fucked up things happen, and some people need to be like, this was God's plan, just to cope, just to be able to exist in that moment.
So can I ask you, man, a question? What do you say to the person? So let's say I was somebody who didn't believe in God, and somebody in my life had passed away, and then you come to me and you say it's God's plan, and I look you in the eyes, I'm like, how are you going to tell me that somebody passing away in my life is somebody's plan? And even let's put this into, because I don't know if you man would have seen the show Euphoria. Yep. But there's Zendaya's character Rue. Yep. Father passed away in the show. Rue's father passed away in the show, and her whole thing was, my dad was here looking after me and my little sister, and we have no type of control over our lives without him. So for you to look me in my eyes and say that him dying, leaving me and my sister by ourselves is God's plan, is kind of fucked up, to be honest. What do you say to somebody like that?
You say that.
Charge.
Jordan, that might be the funniest thing you said on the podcast.
Oh God, sorry.
I tell them, I say that life is about balance.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Fam, I'm not gonna lie. If I lost one of my parents or someone said charge it, I can't hear that. I'm flipping. Bro, I'm pile driving you into the floor. No, but all jokes aside though, I tell them life is about balance. Like, there's no good without bad, there's no bad without good. Do you get what I'm saying? And as much as it is God's plan, like, as horrible as it sounds, shit happens. Like, it really just is that. Like, you can't, like, as parents, you want to protect your child from everything bad, and you don't want them to go through any hardships, but that's not life. Life doesn't work like that. You can't experience good without bad. You can't experience bad without good. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to have that moment being in your room, being like, oh my God, I hate life. I will get me out of here. To then when you're on stage and it's like you're crowd surfing, it's like, fuck, this is fucking amazing. If you didn't have the other, you wouldn't appreciate the other properly. So I think that's literally what it is about. Like, it's unfortunate, but also it might be God's plan, because the pain that you experienced might be the thing that propels you to go do the next thing. Like, for me, it's weird. Like, my parents getting divorced is probably one of the best things that happened to me personally, just because my mom was so in love with my dad, and like, they were so busy, and like, it was almost like it was him first, then us. Wow. So the thing is, in those times, if you had let me go outside and be on recklessness and be on crud, Lord knows what would have happened to me. Do you get what I'm saying? But then obviously they divorced, whatever. We moved to Ireland. Ireland's not as gang heavy. It's not as this, because we're in South London. Ireland's not as gang heavy. It's not as this. And when he was cut out, we then became the main focus. So now I couldn't be outside at 9 o'clock without you calling me. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Exactly. So it's kind of like, it's a shitty thing that happened. For her, it's probably like, rah, marriage done. But for me, it's like, I get a bit more attention now, and now I can flourish a bit more. I don't have, do you get what I'm saying? So it really just is like that.
Yeah. And then to that point, I saw a TikTok recently that says the first 10 years of a kid's life is when you're molding them, they need attention, they need assurance, they need to constantly for you to be present, and that will mold them, and that will shape them. So I do understand where it comes from.
Yeah. Were you man always on the route of like doing something on the lines of this, or was it college route or something like that?
I did science in college. I work in pharmaceuticals now. I just stumbled upon this because someone was trying to start a podcast network, and I have a football account on Twitter, and he put me with his friend to do a football podcast at the time, and then it just turned into this, and it's fun. I enjoy talking to artists. I enjoy talking to creatives. I enjoy talking to podcasters. I just love having fun conversations.
I've tried not saying this whole episode. I know you've heard the Storms.
Oh, every
before, but it's so scary.
Yeah. Look, I get. I'm used to it. Like I really am just used to it.
But do you have any dilemmas before we wrap up?
Nah, I ain't got
And
shit.
also,
this week.
did you want to do something this route?
No. To be honest, like I'm not gonna lie to you. I envy people like you that it's like your whole being is created for music and this and that. Bro, I have no fucking idea what I want to do. I'm just. Someone says try this. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Like how I found podcasting was one day I randomly found some random American podcast on SoundCloud. I listened, found one of the people on that podcast. He went to another podcast, and it just kept going like that. Found a bunch of podcasts, and it's like, this is cool. Like I want to do this shit. And then I was like, I have no friends to do it with. 2 years later, a year later, I started a podcast. Started second one, third one. Now we're here, and yeah, it just kind of is. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's more. Funnily enough, the podcast and all of this shit is actually more against who I naturally am than anything else. Jordan knows I'm quick to disappear. If I'm not in the mood to be anywhere, you guys don't hear from me. You can't text me. You can't call me. I don't really like doing the socials. That's why Jordan does all the socials on my personal Instagram. Like even I was chatting to Ness, and she was like, if sometimes it feels like you only come on your Instagram to promo. So it's like I'm selling tickets, new episode out. Yo, buy tickets. Oh, I'm hosting here. But like me personally.
This nigga just trying to sell us something.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? And it comes across a bit. So me personally, I don't have the natural instinct to like, oh shit, I'm here. Let me take out a pill. Like it's something that people have to tell me to do or be like, yo, do this. So it's weird.
Do you feel like? Do you feel like you're somebody that can kind of? I won't even say pick up things easy, but like, are you willing to like, if there was something that you genuinely loved and you were like, I fuck with this, even if it's periodical. Do you feel like it's somebody you're like, if I want to do this, I'll pick it up and get it done?
Kind of. Like, I feel like I have a weird arrogance.
Okay.
In terms of like, sometimes I don't rate a lot of things that I've done just because it didn't feel hard to me. Okay. Like, it's kind of like,
fair,
it kind of just like, the podcast low-key kind of just fell into my lap. Like, my friend said, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. And then off of that, Dio and Joe texted me and he was like, yo, we got a tree at the back, we want you to join. And say, yeah, fuck it, that's how I ended up here. Like all of these things just kind of fell into my lap, and I feel like I do pick up things quick enough. And also because I'm a procrastinator, I've kind of become used to just doing things last minute, that it just is what it is. So I guess things do come pretty easy enough.
I feel like, and I say this to a very good friend of mine who she's somebody who the best of life usually comes her way. And there's a period of time where people started giving her shit for it. Like everything just falls in her lap. And I never like to see it as falling in the lap, because like I said, if I'm looking at a world where the story's written and everything is operating for me, around me, bro, like you could say that you have no reason to sit here and you didn't work for or anything of the sorts, but there is very much a reason why you're here. Even if it's as simple as just to have a nigga with a deep ass voice on a mic. It could be as simple as that.
Gas me.
My thing is, it's true. We needed a bearded nigga with a deep voice.
Anybody in my life, the way I see it, anybody who does not know what they want to do is in such a cool position in life. And I'm speaking with a level of ignorance and lack of knowledge, because like I said, I know what it's like, or I can imagine a world where you're a grown man and you don't know 100% what you want to do. Like the pressure's on every time you wake up. My thing is, fam, you walk out into the world and everything is there at your exposure, fam. Like everything is purely there for you, fam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a case where I see it as if you can treat the world like that, there isn't anything that you yourself can't do. Because you're like, bro, I'm not tied down to one thing. Yeah, I could do anything today. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you
to be honest,
pick up a new thing today.
I feel like I see both ends of the spectrum. Like on one end, like the reason why I say I wish I had something that was just like my being was all for is because the level of drive that you have when it's that laser focus, is like, this is what I'm meant to do. That level of drive, it's so much better, because when you don't know what you're doing, it's kind of like,
there's
sometimes
no drive towards anything.
Do you get what I'm saying? You start one thing and then like it's halfway through,
I don't want to do this. But you know, I want. Like same with Manny. Manny is like, I'm going to open this shop, second shop, third shop. That's what his drive is towards.
But when your attention is so scattered, sometimes you might feel like, Like, there's times on podcasts it's like, why the fuck am I doing this? Is there actually a point in doing this? Is this what I'm meant to do? Should I fuck it and try something else? Then I've tried radio. Should I fuck it and try do it? Then I've tried this. Fuck it, try that. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you just keep trying. Yes, on a part is fun, but then, bro, you know, 30s chasing you around the corner. You're feeling like, I don't really like my 9 to 5. Am I going to do this forever? Do I really want to do this? You know, am I wasting my time? Should I just focus on this? But when the way you speak about being a musician, it's like there is not a single doubt in your mind of this is what I need to do.
Yeah,
that is
like I'm put on this earth to do this.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? It's almost like
I need to do this.
I know where the finish line is. I just need to chase it. For me, I don't know where the finish. You just dropped me in the map and you said, figure it out.
So, and I feel like I'm putting you in a bit of a weird position asking you to give advice on this. But like I said, I look at you and like I have like the first time me and you were actually sitting down and have a conversation, I am so eager to learn how you hold yourself so composed and so calm in a situation like that. Because bro, let's be
He's
real.
screaming inside right now.
In a world where when a grown man's 30s are creeping up on him and he still don't know, this is my mission, like this is what I'm here for. How do you specifically find peace in that? Because I feel like I know a lot of the pressure I come from, or the drive I have comes from the pressure of just saying that it's done and that it's been achieved and that I have a career in this. So how do you, because like I feel like my boys will watch this and take a piece from your composure and how you carry yourself. Like how do you go about holding yourself in a world where you don't know what you're doing? You get into the age where people are telling you should know what you do, but you don't. How do you hold this peace?
To be honest, as long as I'm not a bum, I'm gone. I'm cool. Like,
I think that was good for me because I'm in the same boat. But I'm in a situation like, as long as I'm not a bum, I can provide for myself.
Like what's called like you got a job, you got a car, you got a family, you got a house.
Yeah.
What else do you need? Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm happy.
Like you can figure everything else out. Like do you get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not above working a job that I don't want to work.
And I know you man wanted to cut the episode off, but sorry, you just got into because
because the camera died.
You know, no, I'm switching that camera. You don't need to We're here.
No, just
I got to a stage this year where I'd kind of started having everything that I wanted to get done. And then I was looking around and I remember it was the Unified night, man. Now, like, there was a world where there was always one person I was going to celebrate all of these wins with. One very, very special person to me. A person that come and gone, that's fine. I have my niggas to celebrate with. And then it became the thing of a single fortune is the best fortune as a musician because he dedicates all his time, energy, anger, whatever the case may be, he channels it all into the music. And that's where we eat. But then I was looking around, I'm like, bro, I've done all of this, but like, I've been seeing my mom way less through the year. Been seeing my sister way less through the year. Now I don't have my girlfriend either.
But greatness requires such a level of sacrifice that
fam.
people aren't willing to do.
And I looked around and I was like, I have my people, but there's so much that I've lost. I got there and I was like, oh, even if I make it, like, what is the word for it? Because now I look at you and you're like, bro, if I have my friends, if I have my family, if I have my car, if I have my life, it's all okay. It's all well. I looked around and I didn't have as much as I had. And then I kind of started to reckon, I'm like, okay, sacrifice. Like, it's really like this.
Yeah, but what's called once you become comfortable with letting things go, because the thing is, as much as it's like, because you've gone through the route of you've done this, so you feel like because you've done this, you lost those. But the thing is, if you went the other way, you could have lost those things anyways. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like just kind of being comfortable in the fact of like, you're not sacrificing for no reason. That's number one. Number two, like every good thing has a dark side. You get what I'm saying? Like did you see that thing Charlemagne put up? It's like Beyonce can't go out to like regular restaurant. It wouldn't surprise me if it was real.
But the Michael Jackson lot.
But I say
I get what you're saying,
I say that
Taylor
say,
Swift went for dinner in New Jersey and it was packed.
Yeah.
So that means you can't go to dinner.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like you look at someone like Drake and be like, I wish. But then, do you really wish? Because that nigga rolls around with a convoy every day. Like he can't be by himself. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you can't just have a bad day and just say fuck it. I don't want to chat to anybody today because there's millions of people that just want to sniff you, let alone take a picture or anything. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you gotta sacrifice. There's always going to be a sacrifice, and it just always comes down to risk and reward. It's kind of like those things that you feel like, oh, I don't have anymore. Would you rather have that than those experiences of being on stage and selling out those shows?
Bro, now I genuinely don't know. Yeah. Like,
And you watched The Last Dance. You saw that Michael Jordan, when he had a moment to himself, just smoking a cigar, how he valued that. But would he give that up? Would he take that instead of being Michael Jordan? Probably not. But he loved it that he was just there with his back to having a cigar. So
And to be honest, you know what it is? I feel like just because the way I've grown up, I've always recognized that sacrifice is a thing. And I feel like for me, for the longest time, sacrifice was tied to love. So it's just something that I've just always been comfortable with. If I understand, thank God I haven't lost anybody close to me. But if I understand, if I lose somebody, if I lose something, or I lose a friend, or whatever, I'm not really dying inside. Like, even if I miss you, it's like, it is what it is. Do you get what I'm saying?
One thing that helped was like, I realized, I was like, oh, okay, niggas can live through this type shit.
yeah.
Bro, that was cracking my head, and I had to ask Carl.
Yeah, no, I hear it.
No, it makes sense. Like, and like,
if you're so driven towards one thing, you're probably envious of the other side thing. Like, imagine just waking up and wanting to do different things, where you have not the curse, I would say, of like, I have to do this. This is my goal.
Especially if it's not working.
Yeah.
Because if it's not working, then you're like, I actually wish I didn't give a fuck about this shit. Like, you don't understand how many times I've sat there and it's like, I actually wish that I was content with a 9 to 5, 20 holiday days.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, because your life looks so calm. You go to work, after you finish work, you come home, you have dinner, and you watch TV. And then you do the same thing for the next 40 years. Bro, do you get what I'm saying? Like your life is so calm, it's so easy. Do you know how annoying it is to have to stress, yo, tickets ain't moving like they need to be moving. I wake up from a nap, and what's the first thing I'm thinking? I got somewhere to be.
It's the thing of waking up and having something to do every day, fam.
Do you get what I'm saying? And then feeling like shit for not, like, you know, that day that you're just not as productive. It's like, I know I should have done this today, but I didn't do it. Oh, fuck, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's just, look, sacrifice just is what it is at the end of the day.
Sacrifice is what it is. But Fortune, we say this, anytime you have anything you want to promote, you can always DM me. Come on, anytime. Even if you said, you know what, fuck this scene, I want to talk about this.
Oh yeah, bro. This
DM me.
needs a part 2.
Yeah, you're welcome to come on anytime. We're just like Deji said earlier, we're a message away.
If you got any questions, feel free to hit us up anytime, whatever. Also, Charger merch, we got hoodies, we got tote bags, we got t-shirts. The t-shirts are fantastic, chef's kiss quality.
The hoodie, I'm even looking at it now.
Bro, what's called hoodie t-shirts, €25, hoodies 40 euros, tote bags 10 euros, or you can do a bundle deal, all three 70 euros. You know, it's beautiful. Guys, make sure you like, you make sure you share, you make sure you subscribe, because apparently we don't be saying that. Like, what's called? Do you want to plug your socials?
That's Fortune on IG, Fortune Nigga Boy, and everything else. Just do you, innit?
And if you didn't like anything we said on this podcast today, you can charge it.
Thank
you for listening.